Live for the Challenger Xfinity Series here for some Monday night racing. Last week we had a three-man booth, and we're down to a one-man booth this week. Both of our commentators will be, or the other commentators will be competing tonight. Snake is going to be running in the 19 car. These are two good tracks for him. Chicagoland and Dega are both tracks that he is pretty exceptional at, so he didn't want to miss the opportunity to jump in and compete with these guys, and I don't blame him for that. Same thing with Sabotage. These are two good tracks for him, and he wanted to get in there and see what he can do. So I am left all by myself. But it's going to be interesting. We haven't been to a plate track since Daytona at the very start of the season, and Daytona was arguably one of the most chaotic races of our season thus far. It was our first race as a league, and we had a few hiccups, had a few issues, a little bit of controversy, some penalties were dealt. But luckily after that, things cleared up and got kind of figured out, and it's been smooth sailing for the most part since then. But we got a fairly sizable field tonight. The last few weeks we kind of been lacking. We've been hovering right around 4 to 6 cars. We've got 8 cars competing tonight, which is more than we've had in, I think, the past 3 weeks. So we've got Sabotage, Larson, Rowdy, Ram making his return. He hasn't raced in quite a while. It's good to have him back. Duds, Snake postponing his retirement once again. Eagle, or Woed Up as some people know him, looking to get a podium finish for his newly formed Rowdy Eagle Motorsports team. And finally, our current points leader, Cobalt, is going to be competing. So those are the 8 drivers that are going to be duking it out on the track tonight. You can hear I just got a notification. I'm waiting on a confirmation text that I'm going to be able to join in. And then when I do, we're going to be able to spectate qualifying, see what's going on. Chicagoland is up first, so Dega is going to be the finisher, which is probably a good thing, if you think about it. If we went to Dega first, I think some tempers might boil over, and it might carry over into the next race, so it's probably good that we're saving that one for last. In fact, I think that was a main point when we crafted the schedule for this season. We were arguing about whether or not Dega should be the first race for the weekend or not, and the general consensus was that no, it should not. So, just waiting on that text. I'm pretty excited. I think we're going to have some good racing. We got a big field again, finally. Should be fun. Should be fun. Next week might be even more chaotic than this week, to be honest. I believe we're going to Darlington as one of the tracks next week. So, that's going to be interesting. It's going to be our first short track since... Our first official short track since Richmond a couple weeks ago. And I have just received the eggplant emoji, meaning that I am good to join in and spectate qualifying. I don't know why the game just played music for a few seconds, even though I have it shut off. Hopefully I don't get sued into the oblivion. Have to sell off all my assets, including my home, to pay off the settlement. Then live in a van down by the river. You can't really do much NASCAR racing in a van down by the river. Looks like we got some people jumping in and out of Discord. Maybe some connection issues there. Let's see. I'm going to do a quick head count here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, nope. All 8 drivers are in Discord. Somebody must have hopped out and hopped back in. Chicagoland is basically going to be a miniature Talladega. I'm gonna say that right now. It's going to be a miniature Talladega because in the Xfinity Series, you've got less horsepower, you got more downforce. You don't have to lift in the slightest. As you can see already, they're underway, and it is a massive pack. It is just bumper to bumper, 2 rows deep all the way. Duds making the high line work, it seems like. He's going to dip down. He's going to block that 11 car, say not today, not yet. Although, being up front like that isn't the most advantageous position when you're in the qualifying. In this pack qualifying, you want to be further back so you can use that draft we talk about every week. But, either way, the fact that Duds is able to run up front and hold his position is a pretty good sign for this race. He's running that Advil scheme. I don't know why, but I always like that Advil scheme. Something about it. I like the colors. I like the outline on the 3. I don't know. A lot of people didn't like that scheme. I loved it. Let's go on board with somebody a little bit further back in the pack. How about Oh, the 19 of Snake as he is 3 wide for a moment. Oh, and it looks like the 1 car of Cobalt just clipped the apron. That's going to be his qualifying effort done. Hopefully he's already set a good lap because he's going to be out of the draft now and fairly non-competitive due to that fact. So he's just going to have to hope that he got a good lap in there if he wants that bonus point. But, you know, who does have a good shot at that bonus point? If we can find him. It's the 18 car, Josh Larson. He's in a pretty good spot right now. He's just close enough to that 11 car where he can catch that draft and get a big run for 1 fast lap. You can see he's gaining slowly. By the time they get to the start-finish line, he's probably going to be on their bumper. And I would say this is, if I had to make a guess, this is probably going to be the pole lap right here. He gained a lot on the front 2 cars, and he's going to be able to do the same thing. He's got enough of a gap now where he can do the same thing next lap. And behind him, it seems Snake is getting side by side with, I believe that's Rowdy. So they're going to battle it out there. But the 18 closing in still, running another great lap. 2 potential pole laps right there. He's going to dip to the inside of the 11, coming through. And 11 car is going to give him plenty of room. He's not there to fight for it. And the 18 crosses the line with what I have to imagine was a crazy fast lap. Let's see if Cobalt is still running. He is quite a ways back as it appears somebody got into the wall right there. But yeah, he's he's out of the draft. He's pretty much done. Go on board with Ram here. I do believe this is the last lap of qualifying. And Duds is going to give the lead to his teammate there. Give probably isn't the right word for that, but Ram has really impressed me so far. Ram's been running some solid lines, maybe not turning the fastest laps, but he's running consistent lines. I say that as he gets into the wall. But for the most part in qualifying, he's been running some consistent lines. Staying right there with the leader. I was wrong about that being the last lap. Let's go further back in the pack where the 20 car is currently battling it out and trying to utilize the draft of the 19 car. Remember, these Xfinity races are short, so track position is going to be pretty important. So that is qualifying over. We're just waiting on Cobalt to cross the line. He's across. Everybody is done. Qualifying is completed. And we're going to see who got the pole. My guess is going to be that 18 car. But, who knows? Ram and Duds could pull off a surprise pole right there. They were running pretty well together before Josh caught up to him, so we'll see. Alright, and I was correct. It is Josh Larson grabbing that bonus point for the pole. And second place is Rowdy. 2/10. Man, when I said that 18 car was flying, I was right. 2/10 over second place. That is ludicrous. I mean, at a track that's wide open, I mean, that's all draft right there. I mean, that is just being in the right place, knowing how to position your car. I'm surprised we didn't see more cars back off. If we're being fully honest, I would have thought we would have seen Ram and Rowdy drop off the cars behind and give themselves a bit of a gap and then reel them in just like the 18 did to the leaders to give themselves a chance. But hey, Josh played it smart and he gets that bonus point. So the points gap grows ever closer. And I've received the eggplant emoji again. We're good to spectate this race. This is going to be an exciting race. Feels good to have a good, nice, sizable field finally. Kind of discouraged by the waning attendance of the last few weeks, but seems like these Monday night races they draw a bit more of a field than the Saturday nights. That's definitely something for next season. For Cup, we may have to look into swapping nights around, making the schedule a little bit more friendly. Alright, and they are green in Chicagoland. It's going to be the 18 and the 9 making up the front row, with the 11 car looking low already down on the apron. Knocking on the 18's door, but nobody's home. He's going to hold his position. But man, that was an aggressive move by the 11, and it got him second place, so that was some wheeling and dealing right there. Tell you what, let's go on board with somebody right in the middle of this. Duds. Mid-pack, surrounded by cars. Cars to his top, cars in front, cars behind. He's got nowhere to go. He just got to stay in line, hold the throttle down, and hope for the best. Looks like he might have got a little bit loose on the re-entry there coming off the apron. Now a little bit tight through the corner. On board now with Snake as he's looking to make a pass on that 11 car and secure second place. Getting the run through the tri-oval, looking high. I just don't think that's going to work out for him. We got an accident behind us. 2 cars. It looks like the 20 and the 1 of Cobalt are involved. Possibly a third car, but definitely the 20 and the 1. And it looks like they're going to be racing it back to the line. I'd have to imagine that's going to be a manual caution as Snake makes a move on the bottom trying to get around Ram, but he gets a little bit loose. He's going to give up that position and come into the line. It is the 18 and the 11. With the 9 car bringing it home third for that caution. And Snake just making that one slip. Fell from second to fourth right there. So didn't see what was the genesis of that accident, but if I had to guess, I'd say somebody clipped the apron. It's a very common occurrence at this track. I know we saw the 1 car clip the apron in qualifying. It's possible he did it again. Who knows? But now things just got a little bit more interesting because now they're going to be able to pit and get some adjustments in, and that might change the entire meta of what we're seeing here. We're going to see some cars maybe pick up speed or lose speed if they choose to pit, and it looks like the front 2 stay out and everybody else files in. Obviously, it being Spinner Spinny, Cobalt, and Eagle have nothing to lose by coming in the pits because they're going to be starting in the back regardless. But I will say it does surprise me to see Rowdy as well as the 19 and the 3 come in. The 3 doesn't surprise me as much as the others, though. It looked like he was kind of struggling with his car, maybe wanting to make some adjustments. So we'll see if he can maybe get that car where he wants it. But he showed some great speed in qualifying, and we'll see if he can capitalize on that for this race. And the 1 is going to nose out the 20 on pit road. Just barely. Right there, they were fighting for who starts on the inside, and Cobalt just barely snagged that one, so although being on the inside don't really matter a whole lot when you're at the tail end of the field, so tell you what, for this restart, let's go on board with this 9 car. They're going to be going green this time by. Not exactly sure how many laps are left in this stage. Thank you, 704. Thank you, Sean Wilson. The stands are packed with hundreds of thousands of people who came to watch these 8 drivers participate in a race. And they are live. The 18 gets a pretty good jump, but so does the 11. 11's going to drop down low. He's now in the draft of the 18. Looks like Snake fell back a bit. That's going to allow the 9 to move to that low line. As things become a little bit more chaotic behind him. We're going to stay on board with Rowdy for one more lap after this one. Watch this action unfold in front of him. Looks like the 11 gets a little bit tight there. Sometimes that happens. The way the physics work in this game is if you bump somebody on the rear bumper with your splitter, the loss of momentum will swing your rear end around and get you a little bit loose. And then when you get loose, you start sliding up the track. And that's not what you want to be doing. I had it happen to me several times in the Cup race here. Rowdy, by the way, swept the weekend at these 2 same tracks in Cup last Saturday, so he's somebody to keep an eye out for. Looks right now like the top 3 are just pretty solid. They're not, doesn't look like anybody's getting massive runs. I say that as the 9 car gets the draft, barely looks slow. He's going to get a little tight here. He had to enter real low, as you saw. And the 11 car is now in the wall. And he is now falling back to the clutches of the pack. And I can't imagine they're going to show him much mercy. Whoa! Some real swerving back there as they cycled a single file. Real quick, let's talk about this 18 car. Larson's been on a bit of a, I won't really call it a slump. He's been running well, and he's been gaining on, he's been doing well in points, but he hasn't grabbed as many wins as he'd like recently, and he is hungry for a win. I do believe his last win was Auto Club, correct me if I'm wrong, that was a couple weeks ago. So he's looking for another win. He's kind of been involved in some situations where he felt like he should have got the win, and it just wasn't in the cards. Something happened. So he's definitely hungry. This is a good track for him. He's going to drive the wheels off that thing and try to bring it home. P1. And our points leader, he's going to be doing the same thing as he makes it 3 wide. And moves up into 3rd place. And barely, barely naps 3rd place for that stage. Still not what the 1 car wanted. He did get 3rd, and that is good, but at the end of the day, you got that 18 car up there winning the stage. That is 2 points that he has closed up. 3 total. Josh got the pole. He finished 2 spots ahead of the 1 car in that stage, so he has reeled in 3 points in this close points battle. In fact, while we're under caution, let me pull up Discord. Let me go to our league information page, and let me find exactly what the points gap was. Before we came into this race weekend. Alright, so the last time the points were tracked, Cobalt only had about a 30-point lead after Josh. Now, this is like 2 weeks old information, so I believe the points gap is closer to 25 or so coming into this, so definitely closing the gap. While I'm talking about that, they have gone green for stage 2. And look who's knocking on the back door of the 18. It's the 1 car. He's telling Larson, remember me, buddy? We don't use this top-down view very often, but let's go ahead and switch to it now. Looks like the 18 got a better run through 3 and 4. But the 1 and 2, or the 1 car might be able to close in 1 and 2 a little bit here. Ever so slightly. Looks like their cars are pretty equal, and the draft is the only tool that the 1 car has to his advantage. But not far behind that 1 car is the 9. These guys are bumper to bumper, almost all the way through the field. We got somebody a little bit further back. It appears to be Duds. He may have clipped the apron, and we didn't catch that. But there's no way he fell that far back without clipping the apron or getting into the wall. So unfortunate for him. With all that speed he showed in qualifying, I kind of had some high hopes for him here. But it's only stage 2. A little bit of racing left. He can maybe make a comeback in stage 3. Riding along with the 1 car now in the chase cam. This is a very close battle, and these cars could not be more equal. Although if I had to guess, I'd say the 18 car has a slightly better setup right now, because even with the draft, that 1 car is having a bit of an issue getting up to his bumper. So if you listen real close to their throttle, and let's go ahead and go to the hood cam so it's a little bit louder. Listen to the throttle as he goes through 3 and 4. He lifts for about a quarter of a second right in the middle of the corner, and that is it. Now let's compare that. Let's go on board with the 18. Let's listen to his throttle. I don't think I heard the 18 lift that time around, so I think that 18 might have a wide open setup, and the 1 car just doesn't quite have it. Now the 9 car, giving him a little bit of a bump there. And who's that back and forth? It's Eagle. He said he wanted to get a podium. He wanted an interview. Last week, his interview didn't come through on the broadcast because his settings were wrong. And he wants to redeem himself for that. So he said he was going to get a podium tonight. And he's working towards it. 1 more spot, buddy. Further back, looks like somehow Duds is going to make up a couple spots here on the inside of the 19, right ahead of the 11, who we're riding along with. He's going to get that run. Secure 5th place. Something must have happened between the 19 and the 11 for them to be this far back with Duds here. Because I do believe Duds clipped the apron. And, whoa, there goes the 19 down to the apron. Fortunate mistake there. Very easy to do at this track. But let's check back in with our leaders. I'll tell you what, let's go on board with that 20 car as he tries to reel in those leaders. Now, I'm not sure if he's in the draft. Here's what impresses me right now. I don't believe the 20 car is close enough to get the draft of the cars ahead. And he's still maintaining the exact same pace, turning the exact same lap times as the leaders. That tells me that the 20 car has a very solid setup. And I think if he could get to the draft, if he could get up there, he might be a threat. Unfortunately, though, his biggest problem right now is that running in 4th place with nobody behind and the cars ahead just a little bit too excuse me, too far ahead. It's looking like he's gonna restart 4th on the high side. And the outside is never where you want to restart, especially when it's a game mandated restart, not a manual restart. And things are heating up. Up front, the 1 car looking low. Nobody home. He's going to slide high. I believe this might be the last lap of the stage. It looks like they were driving real hard. The 9 car looks low. And the 1 car is going to beat him to the line for the stage just barely. And it is the 18 car, if I can find him, who has won both of the stages. That is 1 more point over Cobalt. So 4 points total. He has reeled in this race so far, and it's not even over. So he's doing exactly what he needs to be doing right now. Everything's going according to plan. Cobalt, he's having a good run, but it's just not what he wants to see, I'm pretty sure. So this is going to be an interesting stage. I'll tell you, that 9 car made a crazy dive. Impressive move trying to side draft and get that 2nd place for the stage. But let's see. Last time points were updated, Rowdy was 17 points behind Josh Larson. So it was about a 25-point gap between Josh and Cobalt. and about 15, or I'm sorry, 16 back to Rowdy. So he's not quite with how few races there are left. I'm not sure he can make that up, but he's gonna try. The one car with a terrible restart as he shoots up the track, and he's gonna fall almost second to last, but he just barely squeaks in front of the 19. That 9 car wants the lead, and he wants it in the worst way. He's just barely getting that quarter panel up to his fender there in the tri-oval, but just nothing in the corners. I'll tell you, that is where Josh is making up so much of his time. It seems like coming out of the corners, the cars behind are getting better runs, possibly due to the draft, but on entry and in the center of the corner, he drives away, and there is nothing anybody can do about that. And I gotta wonder if it isn't because of the aero push. You know, believe it or not, there is a bit of an aero push in this game at certain tracks, and this is one of the tracks where it does exist. So, look at the 3 car up here, man. I talked about him earlier, said he wasn't having the best race, not the race he wanted to have. And now here he is fighting for second place, right behind his teammate. It's a Dud MC 125, I believe. I believe the 19 is in 5th, so it's a 125 for Dud MC. That 3 car's on a roll, man. He's getting closer to the bumper of that 18 than I think almost anybody has, except for Rowdy. Giving the bumper to his teammate, trying to push him high. Staying right on that bumper. That 3 car has crazy corner speed right now. Holy crap, man. Absolutely flying right now. I don't think anybody's been able to get to the 18's bumper in the corner, let alone give him a push. And now here's the 3 car moving to the inside, taking the lead. Now this is the speed that the 3 car was showing in qualifying right here. Side by side, battling it out for the lead with his teammate, coming into 3 and 4. With a little bit of help from the 9 car, I think he's going to be able to complete this pass coming through the tri-oval. 18 gets a little high there, down onto the apron. And the 18 car is officially clear. He has taken the lead and led the first lap he's led all race. Impressive moves from that 3 car. I don't know what he did, but man, it looks like he strapped a rocket to that thing. Impressive moves right there. Further back, Cobalt. Oh, contact! The 9 and the 18. Looked like the 18 kind of turned down into the 9 there. Kind of lucky nobody wrecked there, but that's what Cobalt needs right there. He needs them to duke it out and start giving each other the old bump and run. Because he's right there to capitalize on it when they do. Again, using some help from the 9 car. Taking that draft. Sticking to the inside. May not complete the pass in the corner, but I'd wager to bet that they're gonna complete that pass coming through the tri-oval. And clear. The 1 car is officially secured 3rd place, and the 18 car is going backwards right now. He might have a bit of a long run setup. So we might see that 18 car come back to life here in a few laps, but as of right now, making a move on the high side. Here he comes. Looks like the 1 made a slight bobble coming out of that corner. The 18 was ready for it, man. He pounced. Still side by side, but I'll tell you, this isn't helping either of them. This isn't helping the 18, and this isn't helping the 1 car. If they keep doing this, they're going to watch them front 2 cars just fade into the distance. This is, however, exactly what Duds wants to see. Unfortunately, Dud's got another problem of his own. And that's a mirror full of the 9 car. When you see the 9 car that close behind you, you know. You know you got to drive as defensively as you can and hit all your marks, because that 9 car is consistent and he is fast. And if you make one mistake, that is it. Meanwhile, the 18 got back around the 1. He's charging back towards the front. I said he might have a long-run car. Well, here we're seeing I may have been exactly right with that observation, as now he's looking to make a high side pass on the 9 car. That 18 car is absolutely flying right now. I don't know where this pace came from, but man, I don't think I've ever seen anybody be able to make the high side work here at Chicago in Heat 2 or Heat 3. And here's the 18 of Josh Larson pulling it off. Unfortunately for him, the 9 car is putting up a bit more of a fight than the 1. Not sure what's up with that 1 car, man, but it must not be dialed in. Let's go on board with that 18 car as he looks to get to the front of the pack. He gets the fender up to the quarter panel of the 9 car, but the 9 car is going to get that draft on the straightaway, pull away, and say, not this time. Maybe next time, not this time. There goes the 9 car to the inside of the 3. Making the move. Can Duds fight back on the high side? Not without any draft help, he can't. The 18 is looking to make it 3 wide for the lead. Oh my god. I don't think there's ever been a more appropriate situation for the top-down camera, but here it is. 18 car back up to second. Looks like the 3 car is pitting, and Ram is going to follow him in there. So they're not good for fuel. There are green flag stops this race. Cobalt now with no draft help. Looks like he's going to be coming into pit as well. It's going to shake things up right here. Eagle's still on the track. The 18 is still on the track. And the 9 car maintaining his lead. Will they pit this time by? Let's find out. Looks like the 9 car is going to stay out. And the 18 is going to come in. So the last 2 cars that haven't pitted are the 9 and the 19. As well as the 20. So the 20 is going to pit now. There's only 2 cars that have not pitted. The 9 and the 19. I believe we're going to see the 9 car come in this time by. He is slowing down. Ooh, he's coming in hot. I hope he didn't get a speeding penalty there, man, but that looked like he came in real hot. That'd be massively disappointing if he put in all that work. The 19 car, he says, I can't get caught speeding if I don't go over the scoring loop. So he went in the grass. That way he doesn't go over the timing and scoring loop. 1 car now back on track. Let's see where he cycles out versus the leaders. You can see the leaders on pit road. They appear to be exiting now. Okay, we got the 20 and the 18. 18 is on the tri-oval, and the 1 car is on the backstretch. So one of these guys got a really bad pit stop, and I'm not exactly sure who. The 18 does cycle out ahead of the 9, though, by a good margin. Wow. I'll tell you, I don't know the exact running order. Everything got kind of jumbled up, but I believe it is the 18 car in the lead now by a huge gap. And at this point, if he does have the lead, which I'm fairly certain he does, all he's got to do is not hit the apron. And it's his race to win. Nine car doesn't seem to have the car that he had before he pitted. I don't know if he went the wrong way with some adjustments, but he's getting passed by the 11 of Ram now. Making some moves. Tell you what, oh, the 11 clips the apron, saves it, just barely. I think the only driver with a car that could compete with Josh's right now is that 3 car. He's flying. He's actually closed the gap by a little bit. But unfortunately, unless there's a caution, just not enough time for him, so. Strong run by that 3 car today. He's made some impressive moves in the final stage. And I believe he's turning faster laps than the leader. But like I said, just not enough time, so. Unfortunate the way the pit stops played out for him. Really unfortunate how the pit stops played out for the 1 car, man. That's not what he wanted to see at all. The points gap is going to get even closer after this race. Most likely. Let's listen in on Dud's in-car audio. Let's see if he's lifting at all in these corners. Lifting a fair amount on the exit to the corner there, but still running some fast laps. You can see he's entering high, arcing it down. Those are the lines you want to be running. Those are the same lines his teammates running. I'll tell you, the unsung hero of this race, though, has been the 20, man. He has had a strong car this entire time, a car that could compete with the leaders. But things just never, the cards never fell in his favor, man. Like, he's just kind of got the short end of the stick with a lot of these situations. He's never been in the position to try and fight for the lead, but if he was in that position, he has the car to do it. He's been doing a solid job keeping up with Cobalt even. But it's the 18 car. The 3 car has stopped closing the gap. They've kind of stagnated. They're running a similar pace now. And the 18 car, I believe the 18 probably took 2 tires. I think that's the only way he could have got out that far ahead. And that might have been a good call. With how short these Xfinity races are, you don't always need to take 4 when you come in to stop. Sometimes you don't need to take any tires. And I think Josh knew that. So he played it well. He knew what to expect coming into this race. Probably ran some test sessions, figured out that the lap times weren't that much slower on 2 tires. And it paid off. That very well may be the move of the race to get him the win. Three car looking to fight back against this 9 car, though. He's getting the runs. Just know where to go with him. If the 18 car did take 2 tires, he is feeling no effects from it because this gap has remained the exact same since the 9 car got around the 3. So definitely a good strategy call there. Although I can't say I think the tire coming up through the fender is legal like that. You'll see it in the corner there. And that's the race, though. 18 is your winner, followed by the 9, followed by the 3. So that's your podium finishers, Josh, Rowdy, and Duds. Let's go ahead and get them in the party for some interviews here. Alright. Alright, invites are out, and now we're just waiting. Alright, there's one of the guys, our second place finisher, Rowdy. Fast lap award goes to Eagle. I was talking about him earlier. He's going to get that bonus point. And since he's the only one in here, I guess we'll start with Rowdy. You finished second there. You had a solid run the entire race, fighting for the lead. I mean, you were there. Did Josh take 2 tires? What happened on that pit sequence where you and Duds fell so far back?
Yeah, he took 4, I think. It's just I think he might have got on a little bit cleaner than me. But that was it. That was the difference. I kind of got out of shape coming out of pit road because I didn't want to crowd him because he was coming up. I just lost a little time there.
Man, that is unfortunate. Good run before that, though, and overall pretty decent points day. Not as good of a points day as Josh's, though. Josh, you swept the stages, you won the race. You had a fantastic pit sequence there. I thought you took 2 tires. Like, I was just, I asked Rowdy, I was like, so what happened there? Did Josh take two tires? He's like, no, he took 4. So you must have had a fantastic entry and a fantastic exit there to pull.
Oh, it was literally, I think, like a .1 mile per hour difference from speeding penalty versus not. And I didn't have any traffic coming when I came out pit road, and I also pitted a lap early. I mean, I think that was the difference between Rowdy and I. I mean, I'd argue, had equally cars tonight.
Oh yeah, the top 5 were so close, it was unbelievable. But yeah, that was the move of the race there. That good entry and exit. I mean, before that, it really seemed like it was anybody's game, but you knew exactly what to do and when to do it. So congrats there, Duds. You brought it home third. Not bad. I was really impressed with you in stage 3 there. I don't know what you did to your car, but it seemed like after stage 2 ended, you had a rocket on your car, man. You were diving to the inside, passing cars like they were standing still, took the lead at one point, led some laps, and then the pit sequence unfortunately kind of screwed you over there. But how'd you feel about the car?
Well, I mean, the car was fantastic. I mean, we sat here after the Cup races Saturday, and we sat down on Sunday and just really practiced for a few hours with the car and just found out what would work with the Xfinity car. It felt fantastic all night. You know, qualifying wasn't too bad. The car felt great, even though I didn't get a fast lap. Just took off with it there on stage 3. We just made a couple just minor tweaks, not even anything big, and took off with it. The car felt good. It was a little tight in the draft, but that's to be expected at Chicagoland. And yeah, we were making passes, and I even caught my teammate at one point and made a pass on him and early in stage 3 and ran off with it and actually pulled away for a few laps. And I mean, we felt real good. And I don't feel like pit sequence really screwed us. We entered perfect. The pits, the crew did really good at the pit stop. They were quick. We got out quick. Took 4 tires fuel and pitted right in the window. It was just, it just wasn't meant to be. Rowdy had a lot faster car than us on the long runs. His tires didn't fall off quite as much, and I mean, I felt good. It was definitely a top 2, top 3 car.
Definitely, you had a great run there. So, all right, congrats to all of you. Now it's on to Talladega. Try not to kill each other. But that's going to be an exciting race, so hopefully we'll be talking to you 3 after that race.
Hope so.
Yep.
All right. Definitely an interesting race, man. That was something. One of the more entertaining ones we've had as of late. Although I will say Kentucky was pretty entertaining. That might have been one of the better races of the year, just in terms of the entertainment factor. So, Dega though, man, this is gonna be, it's either gonna be a snooze fest where nothing happens, or it's gonna be pure and utter chaos. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm leaning towards the chaos column. So. So those of you watching, I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. Have some good racing tonight, a good field. It's always nice to have a sizable field, like I was saying earlier. And it's nice to see, you know, it's nice to see cars that you don't always see up front getting good runs. You know, you don't always see the 20 car up front, but you know, these last few weeks, man, he's come on strong. He ran the fastest lap this race. He was consistently as fast as the leaders. He made almost no mistakes that entire race. You know, Snake ran great at the beginning of that race. He ran good in qualifying. Rowdy at the start of, or not Rowdy, I'm sorry, Ram, if I could speak. Ram at the start of that race, you know, he was making things happen in that 11 car. So definitely a great race. I almost didn't broadcast tonight. I almost decided to participate in the races, and my decision was going to be based on how many guys showed up to race, because like I said, our attendance has been waning. We've been getting fewer and fewer drivers, it seems like, as the season comes to a close. Only a couple more weekends now for season 1. A lot of the guys that know they're not in it for the points, they know they have no chance. They just kind of, you know, have not been showing up as often. So I figured, you know, if the field's going to be smaller, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to race tonight. But everybody kind of came through. I hopped in the Discord right as the driver's meeting was about to begin, which is good because I'm the one that has to do the driver's meeting. And I seen there was already 8 people in there before me, so awesome. So they're going to take a slight intermission between races, and then they're going to set up qualifying, and I will let you know when we're about to hop in. I'm going to mute my mic real quick and grab something. I'll be right back. Alright, we are back. We're just waiting on them to get the session set up. Looks like we are missing somebody from the Discord. Who are we missing here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Who are we missing? We've got Ram. We got Eagle. We got Snake. We're missing somebody. I'm having a bit of a brain fart here, and I can't remember who it is we're missing. Oh, you know what? Sabotage. Doi. I don't know how I forgot that. Sabotage. He was supposed to be competing tonight, but it looks like he's out of the Discord, and I'm not even sure he competed in that Chicagoland race. I didn't see him. I was kind of caught up in other things. That's a shame that we're missing him. I tell you, it is 102 degrees in my room right now. 3 degrees outside, but it's way too warm in here, let me tell you. And you don't really notice it until there's no racing to watch. So, not exactly sure where Cobalt finished there, but it was outside the top 3. It's a lot of points gained for Josh on the points battle there, because you get bonus points for winning the race. So, I believe as per the game, you get bonus points. So, I got the invite. It would appear as though they got qualifying set up. I'm just waiting on the eggplant emoji. And at that point, we'll be able to hop in, see what we can't get done. Okay, I didn't get an eggplant emoji this time. It's a different emoji. I don't appreciate that. I've grown accustomed to the eggplant emoji. And now you're changing my routine. Do not appreciate. So it is sabotage we're missing. It's going to be 7 cars here. Alright, qualifying. It's basically pointless at a plate track. It's kind of just like a obligation at this point. But, should be interesting to watch. Should give us an idea, maybe, of how the race is going to shake out. Because I don't think anybody's really going to be taking... To be honest, I don't think anybody's really going to be taking qualifying too seriously at a plate track like this. They're probably just going to be racing it out, screwing around, so... Might be kind of entertaining. But they're getting ready to go green. And they're off. I think the one car might have some more luck in that paint scheme. Seems like every time he drives that that scheme right there, he has some better races, so. A lot of lag at these plate tracks in this game. You're going to see a lot of swerving back and forth, and it's not really happening on any of the driver's screens, but it is being displayed to everybody. So that's something the drivers got to watch out for. If you haven't played this game, it's hard to describe, but here, let's go on board with the one car, and I'll show you what I mean. So you see the one car and the 3 car are swerving up and down the track. Okay, you see the 3 car down there drifting up and down, left and right. The thing is, on the 1 car screen, every car except for him is doing that. But anybody that can see Cobalt on their screen, he's doing that as well. So every car is lag swerving back and forth. And the hitboxes do apply. So, you know, when you're drafting somebody and they're swerving back and forth, you have to be so careful not to hook their bumper and launch yourself into the apron or, you know, into the outside wall. It is so easy to do. That's why these plate tracks are so difficult in this game, because 704 couldn't be bothered to make sure that their servers could handle it, as we have a little bit of contact between the 3 and his teammate in the... Oh, no, not his teammate. Eagle in the 20. His teammate isn't even up in this front pack right here. Looks like Eagle and Duds kind of got into it there. And Duds, wow, he fell back a ton. He is not even in the draft of the furthest car behind. That's... Wow, that is unfortunate. That's pretty much his qualifying over, and he didn't even get a lap in, so... That is a shame. Now, our Chicago winner is currently in a pack. Not following the pack, so we'll see. I'm not going to be able to make any genuine predictions as to who's going to get pole, because, you know, at these tracks it's so ridiculous. In fact, I think qualifying is over for the Sparks Energy 300 at Talladega. Yes, qualifying is over. The last car has crossed the line. We're just waiting to see who got pole. Not many laps of qualifying there, and they probably said it like that on purpose. Probably didn't even really want to bother with qualifying, but, you know, kind of have to do it. Alright, what do we got here? And it is going to be Eagle with the pole. He snatched up the fastest lap point. Now he's got the pole. Rowdy behind, about a 10th behind. So, man, Eagle's on a roll tonight, man. If he plays his cards right, he may get a, he may be getting his interview that he wanted. So, waiting on the invite. I haven't gotten anything. Hang on. Alright, had to remind him there. I almost didn't get an invite, but now we're just waiting on the text to let me know that I'm good to join. We really wouldn't have to go through all of this if 704 were even remotely capable of programming even the most basic of functions within video games. But here we are. Alas. It's kind of sad that a game like Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare that came out over 10 years ago had a better spectator system than Heat 3 that came out in 2018. I'm just gonna join because I never got a text. Yeah, see, they've already began and I never got a text to join. So, not exactly sure what happened there. I wasn't getting invites, I'm not getting texts. Alright, so they're probably going to be about 2 laps in by the time we get to spectate here, unfortunately. And already looks like we had problems with the 20. It appears, though, they're under caution. So we didn't see what happened. But apparently they didn't make it one lap. I'm gonna see if I can't get a word with one of the drivers here and see what happened. I'll be right back. Alright, so I don't know what's going on with Discord, but I can't seem to hear anybody. I was going to ask if, I was going to ask what caused that caution. Oh, you know what? I think I know what caused the problem. 1 second. Alright, so we didn't get to see it, but apparently they went 3 wide into turn 1, and a bit of a pile-up ensued. So I think that bump might have been a bit of a friendly tap from the 3 to the 1 there. But alright, we're going to get back underway for the Sparks Energy 300. And we're going to ride along with Snake for this restart. Let's see what he can do. Looks like it's going to be the 9 and the 11 making up your front row. Well, we missed the first start, but they didn't make it even 1 corner, so this is kind of like we're seeing the very first start of the race here. Green flag is out on the 9 car. Not quite getting the jump that the 19 was expecting. He gives him a little bit of a shove, and up into second goes Snake. That was a good start for that 19 car. The plate track specialist, the Michael Waltrip of the league, DMC Snake, up into second. Now everybody's going to be pretty close and packed in this race, so we're going to use this camera for the majority of it as the 19 jumps high, and it's almost 3 wide for a second on the backstretch. Man, it is only lap 3. I don't know what these guys are doing, but oh man, I'll tell you, Snake lucked out there. 9 times out of 10, when you jump out to the high side at a plate track like this, you're just going to get freight trained, and you're not going to have the opportunity to rejoin. But somehow Snake found the gap. He maintained his momentum and got back down into the bottom lane there, holding his position. So lucky there. Oh, whoa! Contact as the 1 car goes way down to the apron. Looks like the 18 car got hooked by somebody's bumper, shot up to the wall, and then back down into the 1. Now again, Rowdy swept the weekend in Cup this week, so he is your Cup winner at Talladega. He's looking to defend that title and sweep the Talladega races. As they go 2 wide behind him, Snake falls to 4th, and Ram is on the hunt. Gaining a few spots here. I believe that's going to be the stage. I believe Ram wound up second that stage. And again, he's making up some points. I believe he was 2 positions ahead of Cobalt. So that's 2 more points he's made up. That points gap is quickly shrinking. And it's looking like we're going to have an interesting race at Homestead. Alright, let's ride on board with the 20 for this restart. They are green. Cobalt just not having a super strong night tonight. Not the night he'd like to have. Really hasn't seemed like he's had a winning car at any of these tracks. I mean, Chicagoland, he just didn't seem to have the speed. And here, I don't know if he's just getting shuffled back. Obviously, the contact between Josh and him didn't help him at any, but seems to be struggling just a bit. But up into the podium, there's Eagle. Whoa! And it's the 19 on the apron. And down into the grass. That is a 1-car incident. Luckily, we got another stage caution coming up, so the 19's race isn't completely over yet. But this stage is certainly over for him. That was unfortunate. It seemed like a bit of a lag swerve got him there. You can see these cars just up and down, up and down. In the words of Cobalt, it's like trying to draft a caterpillar. And looking to make his way up into third with the help of the 18 is the 1. Now, the 1 and the 18 had a bit of a disagree. Ooh, that might have been a little bit of contact there. They had a bit of a disagreement in the Cup race. So in the Cup race, I finished second, and Rowdy won it. And I was right on Rowdy's bumper. I couldn't get a run on him. Something with plate tracks, it seems like everybody has like slightly different top speed. And sometimes you just can't suck up to the car ahead with the draft. It's just kind of goofy. But behind me and Rowdy, the 18 and the 1 were hooked up, tandeming, and trying to reel us in. And the 1 car just could not get the pace to, push the 18 as well as himself up to the front to try to get the win. And they were kind of arguing, like, I believe the 18 had possibly jokingly accused the 1 car of sandbagging intentionally. And the 1 car didn't really appreciate that comment. He was like, well, why would I sandbag? Why would I sacrifice my whole race? Like, they got into a bit of a spat about it. They're over it now, I believe. They kind of made up, I guess. But I'm sure that's in the back of both their minds, when they're sitting here working together. Oh, contact! The 11 down into the apron. And the 1 car slowing up drastically. Still in the draft. But man, that's unfortunate for Rowdy because he was having a phenomenal run so far. Man, that is a shame for Ram. That unfortunate, man. So that is 2 victims now of the lag swerve. The 19 and the 11. But they got another stage, though. They got another stage. The 20 car now, trying to work his way into the top 3. These are incredibly short stages, I will say. So we got to be getting, nearing the end of stage 2 here. So one of these times when they're coming out of 4, you're going to see them all fan out and get all chaotic on you. And that's when you're going to know it's the last lap. One car may have found some speed. He's really staying right on the 18's bumper. It is a single file line of 5 cars, bumper to bumper. And with all this lag swerving, it's like a ticking time bomb, man, I'll tell you. So the one looks high. Contact. That's the end of the stage. Another point for that 18 car gained on the one. So, with all of the stages completed for the night, Josh gained in every single stage. And that is not the news that Cobalt wants to hear. So it's going to be interesting. He's going to fight for this win, try to minimize the damage. Now on this restart, you're going to want to keep an eye on that 11 car because he's been solid all race long. And now that he's going to be caught back up with a pack, I think he's going to be able to make some moves here. So. Alright, we're getting ready to go green. We're going to ride along with the one car, if I can find him. Green flag is out. The outside doesn't get much of a jump there. And it is Snake up in the lead. And he is going to hold that yellow line, and he is going to defend that with his life. Oh, contact between the 1 and the 20. Somehow they both survived it, but I believe the 20 is going to have a hard time falling in line because... Or the one car is going to have a hard time falling in line because here comes Ram. All drivers in the field still within the draft comfortably. So at this point, it is anybody's game. And the 11 car looks high into the wall a little bit, looks like. He's going to drop back down single file to the bottom. And he's looking high again. And this time it's not going to work out for him. The one car is going to catch up to that 20, use the draft, and now the 11 is going to get freight trained on the high side. Unfortunately for him, but he will still be in the draft. He didn't get wrecked, nothing like that, so he's still in it. Just a bit of a setback there. It's still the 19 car leading it, though. You're going to see in these corners, man, he is going to run such a defensive line right down on that double yellow line. I think... Oh, looks like he got a little high there. Got a little tight coming out of the corner. And that's the 18 car on the bottom now. Oh, 2 cars around. They're racing back to the line. Game caution is out, and the 19 still had the lead. Wow. 18 car was about 1 foot away from restarting on the inside. Now he's starting on the outside. That could prove detrimental because there can't be too many laps left in this race. One more foot, he would have been able to restart right on the inside. But you know who is restarting on the inside? It's that one car, Cobalt. He's going to be pushing the 19 car. And, tell you, Cobalt, Cobalt he's a good plate racer. I'll tell you, you know, me and him in the past, in other leagues and in other races, and sometimes even in just pub lobbies, like, he and I have worked together so well, making moves where, like, nobody else could make moves. Just getting crazy runs. I mean, you know, plate tracks are something he is exceptional at. And when you've got the 19 and the 1 hooked up on the inside, they're going to be hard to pass. Green flag is out and the inside doesn't go. Wow, the 18 car now to the lead up front. That is not what the 1 car needed right there, man. If the 19 car had gone, now falling even further back. Man, what happened there, man? If the 19 car had gotten a restart there, it would have been hard for anybody to get around him, but man, that was unexpected. Now the 19 car went from leading the race to needing a caution to even be with the pack. That is, I gotta say, I didn't see that coming. '18 and the 9, followed by the 1. Single file. I don't think they're gonna see. You're not really gonna see any crazy moves as the 20 car gets into the wall. You're not gonna see any crazy moves until the last few laps. But you know who might be making some moves here is the 11 car if we can find him, because he's got a strong car. He has all race, and you know, he hasn't raced in a while. He's itching to, you know, get a good finish, get himself an interview. He's gonna make some moves. He don't care what lap it is, I don't think. One car looks high. Can the 11 capitalize? Yes, he can. Up into third goes Ram, comfortably in the podium, and up into second as the 9 car goes high. What did I say? I said it not half a lap earlier. You're going to see that 11 car make some moves, and here he is, up into P2. Not exactly sure what happened to the 9 car and the 1. Might have been a little bit of a lag swerve bumper hook type deal. But all Ram knows is that it helped him out, so there we have it. Now the 1 car and the 9 might be able to make something happen on the high side here, but they're going to have to get going because I don't know how many laps are left, but it can't be that many. I've been saying all race the 11's been impressing me. And I've been saying it with good reason because here he is up in the P2. Looks like they're fanning out. This may well be the last lap. I don't think that was the last lap. They're still racing. When I saw them all get spread out there, I thought, you know, that might be it, but no, we're still racing. We're still under green flag conditions. And here comes, just like I said, here comes the 1 and the 9 making a move up top. The 1 car pushing the 9 to just get a nose on that 18. Unfortunately, running that high side in the corner is only going to slow them down. But once they get back through that tri-oval, who knows? Side by side for the lead coming through the tri-oval. 9 car loses a little bit of ground. We're still racing. Man, the 1 and the 9, they made the charge. They tried. Unfortunately, they just barely couldn't make it. I mean, the 9 car had the lead for about a tenth of a second, man. But good effort by the 1 and the 9, but it's just not enough. They're trying again. Not this time. Oh, duds on the apron. I know Duds was struggling with Talladega in Cup. Here comes the 1 and the 9 on the high side again. This time, I think they might have started their run early enough where they may be able to get something done. Yeah, Duds was struggling in Cup at Talladega. He just couldn't get the car where he wanted it and where he felt comfortable with it. And he's been running pretty solid all race long up until that, but 9 car looks high. Not going to be enough. Not yet, I don't think. Man, the 1 and the 9 are trying desperately to make something happen on that high side, and it's just not coming to fruition. I believe the 9 car did hold second place that lap. If that was the final lap, that would have put the 9 car in P2. Bumper to bumper, nose to tail. This is insane. Oh, almost thought there was going to be a little bit of contact there. The 9 car. Whoa, getting a little bit squirrely. That's not helping either of them. Ooh, that could be the end of Cobalt and the 9 car's run right there. It might now be between the 11 and the 18. Which I haven't talked about him much, but Josh has done a good job holding the lead this race. Sticking to that bottom line, running defensively. He's done a good job of it. And it may just get him the win. The 9 car trying high again. 1 car is going to give him a shot. I said, get up there. Ho! The 11 car high. Contact coming to the line. I believe the race is over, and I believe the 11 car got second. So it's going to be the 18, the 11, and the 9 for your finishing order. Alrighty. Let's get those guys some invitations to the party. Alright, invites are out. We're just waiting for the drivers at this point. Alright, there's race winner, Josh Larson. Josh, if I describe that win, I would say right place, right time. You
Yes.
started it on the high side, and when I seen that, I was like, you know what? There's no way. That high side is a death sentence. And then the racing god smiled upon you, and something happened to that 19 car. He didn't get the jump on the start. You dipped down onto the inside there, and from there on out, it was just driving defensively, making sure nobody could get the runs. I know the 9 and the 18 were, or the 9 and the 1 were trying, but did a good job holding them off. What do you think if you had started on the inside, it would have been a different story, or were you gonna get that win either way?
I mean, I was gonna do the best I could. I couldn't make too many I couldn't take too many chances. I had to play conservative. I had a good race earlier. I had to be conservative for this race, not get caught up in anything. Luckily, I think the 19 missed a shift, and so I saw that in my mirror. So as soon as I crossed that start-finish line, I knew I was able to move down. I moved down, and after that, I mean, I don't know how much I even looked forward. It's just mirror driving from there. And thankfully, the 11 car did an awesome job. I mean, this win, my win is because of him. I mean, he was able to keep that low line momentum, and we were able to survive the big runs the 9 and the 1 had.
Mhm. Yep, good win. Congratulations on that. It was definitely an interesting race.
Thank you.
Second place finisher, Ram. You've been gone a while, Ram. You ain't raced in quite a while, and you come back and get a podium. How about that?
I don't know. I don't know. It just happened, man. It just, I'm like, I'm going to race today. And second place, you know, being in the podium, first race back, it feels awesome.
Yeah, you did a phenomenal job. I was talking about you the whole race, saying you're getting these crazy runs, and I said you were going to make some moves, and then as soon as I said that, it seemed like the 1 and the 9 had an issue. You got up into second, and you just held it the whole time. You're running some great lines. You were consistent the whole race. Just congrats on your second place, man. We hope to see you in some more races in the future.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was following him the whole way around. I was trying to push him. I saw a 9 get some good runs coming like to the last lap in the backstretch, and I'm like, he ain't getting no run. I stayed with the 18 the whole way around. You know, I played conservative. I'm like, should I go for the win or lose it and come in fourth? I'm like, no, I'm just gonna stay in second. I'd rather come in second than finish in the back of the pack. You know.
Yeah, played it smart. Played it smart. Third place finisher, Rowdy. You definitely were getting some awesome runs on the high side there, man, with the help of the 1 car. At one point, you did take the lead for about a tenth of a second. You had a quarter panel on the 18, but you were going into 3 and 4, and obviously the high side in either of the corners is not where you want to be. Do you feel like there was just nothing more you could do, or do you think maybe if you'd timed those runs a little bit better, you might have had something?
Oh, I don't see
He
Rowdy.
he.
Oh, I seen him join, I thought. I saw the notification, or maybe that was him getting offline. Oh, that's what I saw. Okay, honorary, where'd you come, Duds? Alright.
Nate.
The
So
whole
I
I would like to say,
the beginning of segment 3, like it kind of got slowed. We had to pump the brakes a little bit. I didn't have nowhere to
Mhm.
go, and just, you know, they made a mistake up front, and I got by them, and just I think it was Duds that made it, or the 9 made a mistake, got a little high coming. I
Mhm.
think turn 2 or turn getting out of turn 2 or 3. He made a
I think it's turn
mistake,
2.
got a little
Yeah.
high. And I got underneath them and stayed behind the 18 the whole way.
Yep. Definitely interesting race. All right, for those of you watching at home, because we actually got a couple of viewers this time, we're going to go ahead and end the stream here, but we hope you all enjoyed, and we'll catch you next week for some short track action at Darlington.
Hey, plate tracks